Gullah Gyal in the building. What it do? All right, so I was literally just watching this podcast. It's called Earn Your Leisure, and they had this guy on it, and his name was 19 Keys. It was the first time I ever heard of this guy talking, but apparently he's really big into the crypto market. He's really big into all that the new wave of money and how literally the world is going. And he started talking about this thing called NFTs. And it's the first time I've ever heard of anything like this. But what it did was literally blow my mind. Like, not to a point where it was like, oh my gosh, I've never heard of anything like that in my entire life. But more so that, wow, this is the wave of the future. This is what we have literally seen in movies and just with the way technology is kind of like going right now. And what makes it so interesting is that he was explaining that eventually we won't have like cell phones. Like, pretty much how we see reality will be a simulation. I mean, people are already saying we're living in a simulation already, but hold on. This tea is hot. My digestion tea. But people are already saying we live in a type of simulation already, because you got to understand, ain't nothing really new under the sun when you really want to get deep into it. But pretty much the wave of the future is that we're going to literally be living in a virtual reality. So it's going to be like living in the Roblox game. So, I was like, you know what? I don't feel so bad now for letting my daughter play that game, because she is just planning for the future. Because like he was explaining how, like, instead of having our physical cell phones, they're gonna have like these specialized glasses. Like, I don't know who all remembers that video game was called Pokemon Go, where everybody was looking for the damn Pokemon, and you can look it on your phone and like little things pop up on the phone and it looks like it's in the reality, but it's not. But that's pretty much how things are gonna go. And so instead of your phone being an actual physical substance, it's going to be a virtual substance just with these glasses or whatever that you have, and it's just in thin air. Pretty much, you can, like, computers will be in thin air. And it really made me think, like, dang, like, we don't know how far into the future all of this is going to happen. We don't really know when all of this is going to take place. I mean, of course, anything such as major like this, any changes like this, is pretty much it's going to take like years, like maybe over 30, 50, 100 years, which I don't think it's going to take that long. But we are starting to get there now. And so the main important thing that I really want to touch on, even within myself, is that we need to secure not only the future that's coming now, but we need to secure our children's futures and everything, and really set our place into this world, because things are really drastically changing. And when I say virtual and technology is here to stay, and it's just time for us to really kind of get our minds on a place that says that this is the wave of the future, and what we're doing now, we're gonna have to start changing. So the whole 9-to-5 type jobs, the whole just everything that we see is going to be so different. But I'm telling myself not to panic, because I'm like, I know I have time. And one of the main things when it comes to this shift and this change is that we stay upon the right frequency. We got to stay on a frequency, on a higher frequency, on an abundant frequency. So if you're in a poor mindset, then that's not going to serve you at all. If you're in a fear-based mentality, that's not going to serve you at all. We must get on and stay on a frequency of abundance, prosperity, forward movement, empowerment, courage. Like, and that's why I'm so big on Reiki. Like, I being a Reiki therapist, focusing on chakras, focusing on making sure we are in an alignment, not just with this physical reality, but then within ourselves mentally and spiritually. It's super important for us to stay in this alignment. But it just had me thinking, like, man, because I was even thinking earlier as I was picking my daughter up from school, I was like, man, a lot of people ain't gonna make it. A lot of people ain't gonna make it, because of their mentalities. They're not going to be able to handle this shift that is happening. It's a major shift that is happening. A lot of people ain't going to be able to handle this shift. Are you ready for the shift? Are you prepared for the shift? A lot of people ain't going to handle it because honestly, it's going to take a lot of mental toughness and it's going to take a strong emotions to handle what's to come in this world, because during an awakening phase, and I can only speak on myself, when I was awakening and I was going through a process of just awakening and becoming more enlightened within the truth and knowledge of not just this world, but myself. And really tapping into my shadow selves and really healing certain traumas that maybe I've experienced and the unforgiveness. A lot of people ain't gonna make it because a lot of people are not gonna do the work that it takes to be able to ascend onto a higher vibration. So you got to be able to, it's work. It takes work to ascend on a higher vibration. And I'm talking not physical work. It takes mental work because you have to really deep into your heart. You got to get deep into your heart. And I was telling my daughter the other day, I was like, one thing that she can do to really start her meditations and really stay strong within herself, get off the phones, right? I said, all you got to do, like, just to begin, like, just put your hands on your heart and listen to your heartbeat. You ain't got to worry about, you don't have to worry about trying to breathe right. You ain't got to worry about trying to focus on anything. You don't have to do any of that. Just literally turn your phones off or put on YouTube those little meditation tones that they have. They have 528 hertz frequencies that you can pull up on YouTube. Have that playing for at least 5 minutes and just sit there and listen to the pulsations of your own heartbeat. And your heart is going to literally talk to you and it's going to unleash certain things. And when those things start to unleash within you, it's going to cause some emotional release. Trust me. It's going to anger, sadness, happiness, whatever. And just allow those emotions to release because your heart needs to release these things. Your heart cannot hold on to any heaviness. So you must heal your heart. It is the laws of Ma'at. Ma'at is a Kemetic ancient Egypt deity. But she is a principle, it's a philosophy, it's Ma'at, M-A-A-T, and it just means truth, balance, harmony, and she just represents balance. The scale is your heart as light as a feather, then you can enter the gates of heaven, right? So if your heart is as light as a feather, you enter into the gates of heaven. Meaning you got to get rid of any guilt, shame, anger, jealousy, greed. If I said hate already, you got to get rid of these heaviness, things that you don't want to admit to yourself, things that you have suppressed in yourself, things that you are hiding from others. You have to unleash it and forgive yourself in many ways. You got to bring any darkness that is within you to light. And a lot of people aren't going to make it because there are some demons that people are hiding. You can no longer hide these demons. You have to bring them to light within yourself. And you have to forgive yourself. You cannot hold on to any heaviness because this shift that's happening is going to take it's going to take strong emotional strength. But anyway, my phone crashed because I guess maybe I was getting too deep and they was like, oh yeah, we got to start cutting her off. I'm going to have to start using my regular camera for this. But I'll talk to y'all later. This is vlogging day number 3. And Godspeed. Gullah, Gyal. Remember, don't look for yourself in the world. Look for the world in yourself and bring it to life or bring it to light.